What's up, guys? Today we will be doing the Comptech header install. So pretty straightforward. You just got 2 bolts and the O2 sensor in the back, and then the bolts connecting to the engine on the top. The only thing I heard is that it's a little hard to shimmy up into the motor from the bottom, but I think we'll figure it out. The design of this seems pretty slim, so I think we should be able to make it in pretty easily. So let's get to work. All right, so you're gonna wanna jack your car up pretty high for this. Put the jack stands on the outside jack points because you want as much room underneath the car as possible. And then in the back, you can put it on the subframe or wherever else you think is easiest. But the front, you want the most space available. And of course, just put the jack up there on the front jack point just for extra security purposes. So first thing you wanna do is undo the 2 bolts for the test pipe or cat, whatever you have. Then the O2 sensor up there. Here's the O2 sensor on the header. And then on the OEM header, you've got where the collector is, essentially. You've got another, I think that's a 14mm bolt. That's it for underneath the car. Make sure that your car has been sitting for at least half an hour to an hour, preferably an hour, before you start working on it, because the exhaust is going to be hot. So just keep that in mind. Lay out an hour just for letting your car sit and cooling down. Unless you start in the morning and you haven't driven your car yet. So things to consider, but now we're going to get up top here and start taking out the heat shield. All right, so just for your reference, the heat shield has 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts, and that's how it goes on there. And then I dropped it out the bottom. You can see underneath the oil filter, and that drops right underneath the subframe there. So now I'm going to undo the header bolts and pull it out the bottom and kind of swing it out towards the driver's side. Almost there. Actually, it's only been about 45 minutes, and I've pretty much gotten all the bolts off. So from the test pipe to the both of the heat shields, every single one of the bolts I've loosened with an extended socket. The only one that I needed to do something special for is this one right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this one right under here, which is underneath the second heat shield bolt, I did an extended, a deep socket with a universal joint. And that's it. So just to kind of get it in there. Other than that, everyone else I could do from above. So it's not hard as long as you have one of these universal joints to kind of bend around one of the headers. So that's the only special thing that I figured out. Other than that, everything can be taken off with a socket or just a standard wrench. So good luck. All right, got it off the header bolts there. So I'll show you guys underneath what I did, because I'm kind of doing this as a one-man job right now. So I'm going to keep on going until I need to enlist the help of somebody. So what I did was supported the bottom of the header so all the weight wasn't pulling down on the bolts. And then all I did was shimmy it off. And then I took off the gasket and put it directly onto the new header to make sure that I put it on the right way. And of course, I'm going to clean this up before I do it, but I just wanted to make sure I had it on the right way. Don't want to mess that up. Want everything going back exactly how it should. Where to go? So you just pretty much just pull it down. You can see that's the angle that it came out. So basically, you shimmy it out and pull it out like that, and that's about the angle that you need to pull it out from. So nearly perpendicular to the front of your car. So it kind of snakes in there, kind of in a C motion. So let's pull it out. My goodness. Actually, really not all that hard by yourself. Pulling it out, that is. Putting it back in, I don't know. So let's see the weight difference. Oh yeah, easily 5 pounds or more, 5 to 10 pounds or more. So time to put that puppy on. All right, so if your new header doesn't have the collector mount, just unbolt it and take it off, because it really does get in the way when you're trying to mount your new header. So it'll actually give you about easily 2 to 3 inches of room to kind of maneuver your new header in there. See, because that was sticking out from the block of the motor. So take that out, and that's a lot of room to play with, especially, you know, when you look at that hole and you think, oh man, how am I going to get a header all the way through there? So let's see if we can get it done. All right, went in, literally took me like 30 seconds to a minute of just kind of maneuvering it. I had my roommate help me pull it up in, and it really was super easy. You just kind of have to have one person underneath and one person on top, and just guide it through, and then just put it onto the bolts, tighten everything up, not to spec, but just tighten it up so everything fits properly. Make sure your gasket is back on the right way. All right, so the old one that I pried off got a little jacked up, so went to the store, got a new one. The manifold gasket was completely fine, but this, you know, if you mar it up, I would definitely recommend getting a new one. So 15-minute trip to O'Reilly's. I'm still under 2 hours for this entire process, so relatively easy header install. All right, so the sprung bolts that I hate so much are back on with the new gasket in there. So hopefully we don't have any leaks, but you know, you never know until you start the car up. All right, that's all she wrote. Torque down to spec. 2 hours all said and done, so I'm pretty happy. That completes my intake, header, exhaust, trifecta. So I think that's it for now. There we have it. All put in there, checking it for any exhaust leaks. I don't hear anything. And then going down here. So after this video, I'm going to post a sound check video with the header on there. So watch for that dropping in a couple days. Wait, real quick. Don't forget the heat shield. I know it looks cool without it, but I forgot to turn the car on, and I immediately started smelling something funky. It just smelled like rubber was starting to heat up. So all these hose covers and this wire was over there, so I tucked it up back in here. Just make sure you put the heat shield back on. It looks cool without it, but god dang, that header gets hot. So PSA, we're out.